Welcome back, everybody, or welcome if you are new. Today, something weird kind of happened with our iRacing career mode race, so this is going to be like a recap of everything. I don't have like the straight footage of like the race and stuff like that because all my sound and everything was gone from the race. So I might have like a couple clips here and there of the race of what actually happened, like while I was driving in car and all that, but there won't be any sound or anything of that. I'll just be commentating everything that happened through the race. But also halfway through the race, or a little past halfway, we were on lap like 43 of 70. iRacing just failed and cut us out of the race. So we kind of got the race shortened just by iRacing itself, and it will be an interesting finish and see where all the points end up at. First off, we'll start off with all the points before this race started. We had Kevin Harvick in the lead by 16 over Gavin, and then Gavin had an 8-point lead over us. We were 24 points back from Kevin Harvick, so that will be interesting to see where everything plays out through this race. But this was the qualifying order. Rusty Wallace got the pole, Bill Elliott second, Martin third, Jarrett fourth, Ricky Rudd got fifth. Harvick was up there in sixth as well for qualifying, so that's where they all started the race at, and we qualified in the back as always. We had us down there second to last, and Gavin was in last there to start off the race. And also we'll be going to Bristol next week. We had Charlotte, and then we'd have Bristol and Nashville Super Speedway to finish off the year here in our first season of our career mode. So it'll be an interesting tight finish here at the end of the season to see how those races go, because Bristol is a wild card, I feel like. And then Nashville Super Speedway is a very tough track to race at. It'll be a lot about saving tires, so we'll see how we can do in those. To start out the race, we're starting in the very back there, and Gavin's back there right next to us on the inside. We have a very interesting start because they're not going full speed yet, but it takes us a while to try to get up through the field and actually catch back up to this group because they are very fast off the start. We have to baby the tires a little bit because they're really cold, and we didn't want to get loose or anything right off the start. So it was a very tough start, and then we had to try to work our way forward. As we're coming around, it's lap 5 right now, and we are finally catching up to the back of this field. I believe it's Jeff Green down there in the 30 car. We got Steve Park in the 1, Stewart back here in the 20, who I don't know why Stewart qualified so bad in this race, but we finally caught to the back of the group, and we're going to try to start making passes up through everybody finally. Gavin just kind of following us on through right now, hoping we can make a lane. A lot of the AI like to run that higher lane for the more momentum throughout the race, but the bottom is definitely where you want to save the tires. Oh, they check up really big right there on the bottom with Mayfield checking up Stewart really bad. We're working the outside of Stewart here. We get a little loose. Gavin gets to our outside here on the backstretch. We're 3 wide here on lap 6 of the race, which is crazy. We're 3 wide through 3 and 4, trying to keep the outside of Stewart. I push up a little bit, trying to give Gavin room. He gets up into the wall slightly, gets down into us, and we have a massive crash on lap 6 of the race. So we have a caution, and we have to go get our car fixed. Unfortunately, both of us do, because we absolutely destroyed our car. That was a very gnarly incident that happened there, because I don't know if we tapped a little bit or anything right there. I don't think we did. It was super interesting. It looks like he might have gotten a little tight, or maybe a little bit of net code, and it gets him in the wall, and he pulls off, and it just gets really loose and nails us both into the wall like synchronized swimmers going straight head on into the wall. On lap 11, we had the restart. This is lap 15 going into 16. Gavin got by us there on that few laps run as we catch the back of the field here, and we start trying to work our way forward finally. And we don't know this at the time when we're going to get cut short and everything like that, but we know that we're going to have a caution on the halfway mark if there's no other natural caution, because our first caution was on lap 6 going into 7, so it was before the 10 lap mark to try to get a competition caution still. So lap 35 we plan on still having a competition caution at the moment. But Gavin is working his way through the field. We're trying to work our way through the field here slow and steady. We got Kurt Busch back here, John Andretti on the outside, Mayfield on the outside as well. We're just trying to work the bottom the best that we can, while Gavin's up there ripping through the field right now. And there's a bunch of cars in front of us, 2, 3 wide. We think there's going to be a wreck happening pretty soon up there with the AI cars, but no clue how it's going to pan out. And I think something big happened here on the front stretch, I want to say, because Mayfield had that big checkup on the first run, and then right here he does the same thing where he has a big checkup on the front stretch. We get into the back of him, spin him around. He almost blows over, which is crazy, but we get some big damage on our front end there. We change to the chase cam here for what's about to happen up here. Gavin's getting loose on the inside through the quad oval. It's checking up some guys on the bottom. He gets through the grass a little bit, and everybody checks up hard. We get into Andretti, and then we have a massive slide from him getting into us. But we save it, and we keep on moving. I don't know how we save that, but I really wasn't expecting that huge check up here. Going on the front stretch, we barely clipped the rear end of him, and it got him sideways. And I don't know where we got the rear end damage. I guess it thought Kurt Busch hit us, but we have a massive slide. Somehow saved the car. It was a scary, scary moment there. We're now on lap 26, watching Gavin try to work his way up through the field. He's got Ward Burton right here in the 38 on the outside of Elliott Sadler. Gavin dives it down on the inside, washes it up a little bit, gets into Ward Burton there, gets into Elliott Sadler, checks up everyone behind him, and they have a massive accordion. And during the massive accordion, Johnson runs over Sterling Marlin back here, and we have our second caution of the race on lap like 26, 27. That catches us up a bunch because we were way behind all of this, but I started seeing some smoke happen and then all the carnage happen up there, so we were lucky with the caution. I was happy with it. We restart the race on lap 32 of 70 at the time, and I plan on trying to split it in half, pitting on lap 50 and then going to the end to 70. We're restarted here in 16th. Gavin was like 5 in front of us in 11th, and we have a good track position here at this time. I think the top 10 or top 7 or so stayed out. I don't know why they didn't pit, but they stayed out, didn't take any tires. They figured they will pit soon for the fuel window and try to make it to the end at that point so they don't have to pit later on, because that does come into play here in a little while. We're slowly trying to work our way through the field, going 2-3 wide here with Johnson and Elliott on the outside, Ward Burton right in front of Johnson here. I think they might have stayed out because there was a few cars you could really tell were off pace. Yeah, Ward Burton has some front end damage from that wreck that they just had, but it was very tight racing here. Almost get into Johnson, and as we almost got into Johnson there, Terry Labonte has the big checkup on the bottom, and Gavin runs him over. It was a single car thing, pretty much same thing that happened with me in Mayfield early on, but it broke Terry Labonte's left front there, but no caution comes out because they stayed straight and everything stayed fine. So we continue to move forward, getting by McMurray on the outside. He definitely didn't take tires. You can see how like slow he is on the front stretch and stuff compared to us. We're just flying by him. And then we're trying to catch up to all these guys. Gavin's working his way up. You can see him on the bottom there in front of us, really flying by all these cars on the outside. Jeff Gordon there on the outside. Got Kenseth, who I knew took tires. I think Junior stayed out. We almost got into Kenseth there. I think we did get into Kenseth. It got loose on the front stretch. That was a huge moment for us, and we just had to take it straight down through the grass. It was a very scary moment altogether. We get all that sorted out. We got by Gordon. We're getting back by Dale Earnhardt Jr. here, trying to work our way forward, and there's a big checkup on the bottom with Rusty Wallace and Ricky Rudd on the front stretch. We're trying to get them 3 wide. Did we make contact with Ricky Rudd there? I don't even remember. I guess we kind of made contact with Ricky Rudd there. I don't even think I remember seeing that at all. And it put him up in the junior, which I did not intentionally do at all. I didn't even realize I even got into Ricky Rudd. But Bill Elliott is flying right behind us, and so is Johnson. They're on fresh tires as well as us. I think we're up to 3rd at this point. Oh, no, we're up to 4th. We got Kenseth in front of us, and we got Gavin up in the lead. I don't know who's in between us at the time. It looks like it might be the 88 of Dale Jarrett. That's who it is. We have to get by Dale Jarrett, and then we get up into 3rd here with like on lap like 39, 40-ish, something like that. And I'm planning on pitting in about 10 laps at lap 50 to try to undercut Gavin when all the pit cycles come around, and we'll be undercutting him on the fresh tires, and we can get a lot of ground on him, hopefully. We're coming around lap 42 here. You can see at the bottom where my mouse is. We're starting to catch Gavin and Kenseth. We're like 0.6 behind Kenseth. We're like 1.8 behind Gavin at this point. And you can see all the drivers saying they're pitting in right now, like Gordon, Junior, Rudd, Schrader. I know Rusty Wallace is a part of that as well. That is pitting. They're trying to hit their fuel window for pitting and making it to the end of the race. But as we're coming around lap 42 to 43, right here, I want to say it is, coming around the front stretch, iRacing failed. And that would be the end of it for us. Gavin's able to do like another half a lap or something, and it kicks him out as well. So that is going to be the end of our race. And Gavin ends up getting the win. We get 3rd. All the results here are a little screwed up because, actually, no, the results are actually right here, which is interesting. I didn't realize that. But all the results were correct here, I believe it was, because, oh no, this was like the running order at the moment. So we can like skip forward to the end of this. Yeah, Gavin made it to like turn 3 here, and then it died. Like iRacing just completely failed on us there, which is the weirdest thing. So we can go look at the results now, and we'll update all the stats and all that on where everybody's going to be sitting for the last 2 races here. And these were the final results of our career mode race. It says I got 6th, but I got 3rd. I was right behind Kenseth when all that blinked out, basically. Joe Nemechek to Bill Elliott are 1 spot lower. So Gavin got the win. He led 6 laps. We did not lead a lap. I think that screwed up when like everything blinked out for me, and then we did like the half a lap more, and it kicked us out the cars. So that was weird. But Bill Elliott probably led the first lap because he started in 2nd. Gavin led 6th, and then Rusty Wallace down here who finished 25th, because from Rusty Wallace on back, they all pitted to try and get the fuel window to go to the end. So immediately as they went to go pit, everything like died, and like let's say a lightning strike hit and it had to delay the race, and then rain pour happened the rest of the night, couldn't get the race restarted. So that is just how the cookie crumbles. It's very unfortunate from Rusty Wallace on back that they ended up pitting, and that all happened to them. Luckily, it didn't happen when we were going to pit. We were going to pit like 10 laps later, and that would have really killed us in the points. But speaking of the points, here are the total points. Harvick ended up finishing back in 16th, and with Gavin getting the win and Harvick led no laps, Gavin made up all 16 points in this race, and they are tied for the points lead, which is crazy. We are, 14 back, I want to say? And then I think it's like Kenseth and Johnson behind me. It's some crazy stuff. Everything tightened up a lot in the front. So it's going to be real interesting to see how Bristol goes next week, to see if we can try to make up that ground, and hopefully Gavin ends up in some wrecks, and so does Harvick or something like that, and we can get like a win there. That'd be awesome. I know Bristol's going to be a very tough race, and we're going to have to try to work our way to the front and try and just go flying forward somehow, because I know we're going to qualify in the back. I think passing is going to be tough, and I don't know where everybody's going to run at anyways. So Kenseth goes from 26th up to 2nd there in that race. We go from like 32nd to 3rd. Gavin goes from 33rd to 1st, so last the first challenge there. And Nemechek going from 25th up to 6th in that race is crazy. That's like his best finish of the year, I think, by far. So that's awesome to see. Some guys getting top 10s that haven't yet. And speaking of the points, people getting top 10s, everybody in the field has gotten a top 10 this entire year besides one person, and it was Dave Blaney. Dave Blaney is the only person this whole season that have not gotten to the top 5 or top 10 in the entire year, which is kind of funny because he's 1 spot ahead of Gordon in the points, that tells you how bad Gordon's had it on a season. And Gordon has 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s, so absolutely crazy points altogether. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. I needed to try to get something out because my audio and everything was messed up from my recording, and because I had like everything reset on me, and it showed I was getting levels on my recording, but they just weren't there post. So thank you to Gavin for sending me the replay, and I could look back and show you guys what happened in the race. And this is just a little bit different of a style video for this, but race number 10 in the books. We got 2 more to go. We got 14 back on Gavin and Harvick, so hopefully we can gain that on them in the last 2 races and try to win this championship. It's going to be a tight one. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the career mode. I'll catch you guys in the next one.